however, CAZ on that CT side.
I don't think we're live.
Yeah, something tells me we're not live.
Either we're going full, BM, or we're not live.
I'm just going to quote MCK. Yeah, Roma fell asleep.
Yeah, okay, good. So hopefully we're going to be going into the game though shortly. Is this live? I'm going to assume this is live, so we'll cast it and then we turn it out as a warm-up. But welcome everyone. Yes, thank you, John. That's
Quality artwork right there.
Great
Mona
job.
Lisa 2.0.
Great move. Well, into the game we go, and London Lynx, they are going to be setting up for what looks like a bit of a fast B play. They've got the Molotov for the post plant. That's going to be helpful for denying any kind of diffuser, but CAZ, they're rotating back into the site. The presence has been shown, and the bomb will be going down in the meantime. The rotation called off. This is Aussie getting dropped by Trouble, and now 4 CTs in a man disadvantage. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, going to quickly be turned back on its head, but it's still yet a flurry of frags backwards and forwards. Things will swing. Jacob trying to fill on ahead, though, finds himself one, turns it into a quick second kill. Roma, a headshot as well. And there you have it, Trouble on 1v3. Does find himself a bit of a drive-by.
No.
That bomb is going to be defused, but the Molotov is going to be perfectly timed and gets it down enough. And now going for the headshots again, not quite connecting it nonetheless. But a 1v2, a doable spot. But a very nice headshot from Roma to really build things up. A quick 3k for him overall, 2 kills for JChem. Some great play from the two of them.
In chat, the CAZ are saying they thought it was the knife round, so they ran all outside. That's why they didn't put any players on B. I just thought they were playing for the retake, but regardless, they're going to pick up the rounds. They won't make any kind of complaints in that one. 1-0 to them, and obviously London Lynx with that bomb plant is going to mean they will be going for the eco here, and likely buying up in the third round, so obviously a leap buy for them. But CAZ investing in a few SMGs. They've got MP9, my favourite gun, and the UMP as well. A couple of Famouses, M4, typical buy here, double SMG, and London Lynx just investing in some PT50s alongside a smoke on Trouble that's going to be straight expended over towards the A site, as the rest of the players just rush straight in through Pop Dog onto A.
Yeah, the FAMAS looking like it could be able to do some sweet work at this point, as the UMP already going to kick it into high gear, finds one of its own, and it's just going to be a bit of a bloodbath. We do see at least one to be found, and most importantly, the bomb is in place as well, so certainly a bit of a win-win for the T side. But at the end of the day, it's still the same expected outcome. CAZ, they find themselves around now. Just to segue back a bit, I think this is pretty hilarious in itself. CAZ thinking the pistol was the knife round, it was their idea to knife earlier on. That really says it all.
That's a good point. But either way, buy coming out. The double bomb plant's going to allow for a little more money, so London Lynx aren't going to have any issues in investing. They can even pull out the orb on Trouble if he wants to, but he wouldn't have any armor. Yeah, he's going to go for it. A couple of nades as well. Not too bad of a buy. Obviously, bringing it in very early on is good, considering CAZ. Look at their buy. It's quite weak. We've got Deagle on Jacob. We got a Famous. Oh, not Famous, sorry. A Max 7 on Dreamy. And rifles across the board and the rest of the players. So a bit of a weak one in comparison, although the Famous. Why do I keep calling it Famous? The Mag 7 can have significant impact if played at the correct range. And London Lynx, they are going to be pushing up towards A, out through Ivy. A bit of a split through the A main and the Pop Dog area as well. That seems to be the name of the game for now. But by and large, CAZ are just holding back. Nothing too aggressive from them. They have a couple of spot players, a bit of information play, but that is it. Nice work, though, from Major. He spots out lower, expects a repeat from upper, and takes down Roma. Gets dinked in the process, though, so he is tagged up.
He keeps alluding to this Famous. Well, there's a very good reason to that. There's a lot of pressure over towards Ivy, but he does his job, finds that frag initially, and then it's going to be just combining factor of the shotgun and just another Mag 7. And now doing the same thing. The Famous, should we say, doing the damage, but nonetheless, it does put us in this 3v2. Isaac and Trouble. Now, Trouble has been an impeccable AWPer. A lot of flair to the shots he's been able to find, but it still is in a position with a one-man disadvantage. And in terms of what he can actually do from where he stands, it's going to be tough. Isaac, of course, going to be looking to find a frag of his own and most importantly get some information.
Why? No need to peek there from Aussie. CAZ could just hold back. London Lynx were taking their time because they were waiting for the CTs to overextend and go down. Luckily, it will be rejuvenated by Dreamy. He will catch out Isaac there, but now Trouble is alone. Again, lack of armor could come back to haunt him here up against these rifles, and he's yet to go for this full bomb plant, but he has a player sneaking up on his left. He hasn't cleared it just yet. He's just pushing it through the CT spawn. As soon as he commits to that bomb plant, we're going to see this peak. But no, not even waiting, sorry. Jacob's going to take him down. That will be the round to CAZ in the bag, so a 3-0 secured, and London Lynx not able to get that bomb plant on the buy as well, means that they are now into pistols once again. This is bad territory for them to kick things off, but I can't say it wasn't expected.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, now they have to really look forward away from the present, because if you want to talk about it, it's bleak. We know they're just going to be able to try and make the best of things with these pistols. In an ideal world, they get a bomb plant, which is why we always see them buy up a smoke. Now, I think I like this. I think not enough teams actually always try and secure it off the back of utilising a smoke, but a smoke, it only does so much, and a Molotov, well, it's going to be the fire in the path, as Jacob is going to mow down too. We do see a trade coming from Major though, so still a net gain to be made, but they need more than one. Ideally, 2 frags at minimum, and then on top of that, of course, is that bomb plant.
Yep, not even going to be allowed though.
The Molotov is going to be, of course, where we find ourselves sat, but overall, push, it's going to begin. That Molotov is going to go down. As mentioned, Jake and Maroma, though, they find themselves one. They make this happen. Somehow, the double peak nets a reward, but Snakey can leave himself in a 1v1. The defuse is going to be toggled. Jake goes for the quick They're really trying to pull the longer range battles with the AWP now, though, as he sets himself up just to be ever so patient, of course. From this T side, they're looking to reapply that pressure once again, but it's been a tough task for them. The Isaac with this peak could get the advantage onto a stream, providing timing comes towards his side, and it is going to be just that, a quick one tap to end his days. But look at this slow push. That is punishing as Roma yet again, singing the praises of CAZ when it comes down to just being patient, as that's what's bearing them all of these rewards currently, and it's totaling up to a pretty dastardly spot now, a 3v2. Swiftly, what should have been a 2v2, but Isaac, a very disappointing way to approach things. It is going to be Snakey, though, with a kill with the Molotov.
Oh dear, just walking into it, no need. And Snakey, maybe able to catch up this last player on the ladder, has to drop off there. It's going to give away his position. Repeats with a flash very early, and it almost catches out Roma, but Roma just gets away with it. 13 HP, but the skin of his teeth. Doesn't even grab the AWP there, just missing out. And CAZ, regardless, picking up the round again. Good stuff for them, but London Lynx facing the same issue. This time it's getting worse. They didn't get the bomb plant, so their money's going to be weaker. With a bomb plant, they would have been able to buy, but this time it's not going to be happening. So pistols across the board. Bit of armor as well. Going for a quasi. They know the max loss bonus is obviously in their favor, so they aren't going to be suffering too much in that sense, but obviously they've got to start to get themselves into this playing field.
It's all pretty much about just putting up a bit of a fight, at least at minimum, right? You don't just want to be a lifeless body. We'll be showing some signs of perhaps even improvement at this point. As already we are going to see this push begin to barrel out towards this site. It's going to be a lot of pressure on towards Roma just to hold this angle and sit tight, and, well, gets himself 2 headshots. Now looking to readjust. Will punish on towards Isaac, and positioning change, it will mean that Snakey gets to take him down. Overall, that's a frag for this T side, but the biggest thing is going to be that bomb plant, and frankly, I don't know if he's got the time, but do some serious damage with the Tech 9s and pistols overall.
Yeah, at least they're getting economical impact. And now the author here has an AWP, which is going to be quite dangerous. CAZ can't afford to throw this one away. They know where he is. He knows where they are. It's going to be an equal playing field. But, oh, he catches out Dream going in for another. He's going to miss that shot, gets tagged down to 8, and he repeats again. Trouble. That's going to be 2 kills. And London Lynx, they get themselves on the board finally on that eco. 1-6. It's
so dangerous to enable that AWP to be given the trouble, because he's the main AWPer for London Lynx. That's the perfect man to give it to.
Especially when you consider the bomb was down the site. They had no need to take that fight. They could have just sat around, played a lot safer. Obviously, they're kind of going into this matchup having that confidence. But either way, no real need to go for that fight.
I think it highlights mistakes on the CAZ side, not only in this round, but I'm going to throw back to the Molotov incident as well. A 3v1 turned drastically in a bit of a different direction, and now we're seeing Trouble just go aggressive, finds a quick pick. We do see the response from Dream, but it's only one. It's quickly to be traded, and we can expect to see the AWP really just add up to the tally series. JChem further in the body pile, and it's just Roma and MCK.
Shredding skulls left and right. We see 2 players try and pull something out, but the bomb's got to be making its way back towards this B site. There's only 1 player who's going to be at least able to hold this one down. It is Roma. He has got armor, the better of the 2 at least in that sense, but he's got a lot of players to deal with. 3, in fact, pushing up into his grasp. And Major, he's going to walk right out. Roma's not holding the angle, gets shot in the back, and now it's all on MCK. He may be able to catch out Trouble and save himself an AWP or an AK down this Ivy area, which he will be going for, but oh, Trouble. He's heard that footstep. He knows what's going on. He's turning back around to chase this, but MCK, he's grabbed an AK and he's running for the hills. He should be able to get away with this one, because Trouble isn't going to be chasing it too heavily, knowing that obviously if he goes down, that's just not going to be a worthy trade. They should let this guy go away with the AK. The economy on the London side is not good. They don't need to chase this one.
We talk about not chasing, but this is a Saturday night sitcom. They always do the most obvious of things. As Isaac, he's going to keep on peeking, and he gets his comeuppance. MCK will punish him.
At least it gets traded though by Snakey. I mean, so risky. It's not even worth it. Look at the money on London Lynx. It's not great. They haven't built up an economy. Trouble has a fair bit in his bank, but that is going to be it. And as soon as they start losing rounds, that's where things can just completely turn on their head, and they could start, going in the dumps in terms of economy, all because of losing some rifles that they didn't really need to. However, they are going to win the round, which is the important factor. Pistols and rifles out for CAZ. They've got a scout on Dreamy, so a bit of a charity shot by, but they're going to put it together nonetheless and try and make this one work. As London Lynx, they set up for once again the same setup. AHBM Trouble over towards this Ivy area. The rest of the match just outside of B and A, sending out default, allowing CAZ to get aggressive early on if they want to present themselves in any kind of manner, but Ozzy is just going to be holding back, and he's been kind of one of the players that's been getting very aggressive already in the early rounds of this half. But he isn't even pushing down Ivy this time. He knows, because every time he gets a kill there, he gets instantly traded. So it's clearly not worth it in terms of the impact that he's having. So he's playing it a lot safer, bit of a crossfire as well over towards the A site on Ivy. So they've got nothing to be worried about, and he's even going to have a teammate rotate in to support him. That's Jacob.
And looking to see if the supporting factor will be aiding, as it is going to be Roma to at least find that initial pick on towards Major. And well, I'm just trying to respond. It's a very frantic spray now. There's nothing wrong with that, but just look at where he's positioned. He's in such a tough one. He's just going to walk dead set out into a USP trouble. Well, trouble, should we say. Well, tries to give a bit of a fuss, but will fail, unfortunately. Moving down to a very decisive round coming in from the CT side. Snaky, well, he's got a big way to try and worm his way out of this one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's no chance.
Yeah. Going to get shut down. At least it's not a reset though for London Lynx. They picked up 2, meaning their economy is going to be a bit iffy. I don't even know what you could do with this one. You could get a buy, but it's not going to be a very good buy. 2 rifles. You can AWP. Isaac can have an AK. Snaky can have a Galil, UMP, or a pistol, or a scout. That also works. Bit of a random one, but yeah. I mean, it makes sense to go for that buy, but it's still not a very lucrative one by any means. CAZ are going to be on the plus side of the economy, but look at this, trouble holding with the AWP. Going to take down Dreamy straight away, so CAZ already losing out on a first player. Not the way you want to start off the round as well, so London at least in this to win it. And they're looking for their own reset.
They're starting off rather nicely, but sometimes the start, not always the hot point. It's always about the end in Counter-Strike, because you need that round. What to go about it? We're seeing some very passive play. Snaky just holding the angle for his teammate in a bit of an opposition, so hopefully he can come up with a bit more of a use case for where he's sitting, as it looks a little bit undecided right now in terms of how he wants to approach this round with that scout. Of course, for the CT side, we know they have the firepower advantage, and they know that too, so for them, sitting tight, not really going too aggressive and just waiting for the information to fall into their court, it's nothing negative, though there is the concern of that B site being completely overwhelmed, as it is just that one man, the anchor of Roma, and a simple mistake from him could leave the doors hanging wide open.
Bit of team damage there. Not going to do anything too impactful there on Jacob, but regardless, he will get the kill over towards Ivy, taking down HP, push out towards the upper area. Rome will catch out. He's solo anchoring this B side, and he's doing a really good job. Once again, London Lynx, they are going to fall without any trades. This is what you say when it's a bit of a pug team, and they really don't have any strategy or kind of building foundations behind it. They are just going to be playing a bit of an aim battle, and Train really is not the map to do that.
Yeah, especially with these longer range, more drawn out positions, you have to be on point, because the room for error, it's so much smaller, and right now that is, well, the more punishing effect. The Snaky at least starting to utilize the scout, but there's only so much he can do. Now he knows a player's there, so gets the headshot on towards Aussie, but he still has such a tough task in front of him. A 1v2, upgrades to the rifle, now much better choice from him, and a weapon more suited. But at the end of the day, the time, it's just not on his side.
No. Roma is attempting a smooth wall bang there on Train, as we have seen. I can imagine loads of people will be doing that from now on, but whether they'll be landing it, I don't think so. However,
I think that's probably 1,000 to 1, right? Surely.
Even bigger than that, and plus the player, you've got to know a player's in there as well. I mean, if you know a player's in there, then that's a different story. You've got a fairly good chance of hitting them, but they have to be already be tagged up. And, you know, you have to get the right angle as well. I don't know if there's a set angle for that, but Eco coming out, and it will be over in just a second, because Jacob, he is the mincemeat man. He's made himself 3. Snaky will return, but that is going to be it. Once again, the rifle player here on this London side, alone in this 1v4. This time he actually has time to play with, but he has a lot of players up against.
The problem is as well is that he had to dive back down and get the bomb. Now, as much as he could do it safely, it's less about him actually having to go and do it, more about the sound he's created. They know exactly where he's going to be standing, exactly where he's situated. What was that? It's still the same outcome, but...
They were both blind. Dreamy came in, at least out of the pop dog, not blind, so he could get that kill, but still very, very close.
It's the Zenix brand of blindfolds.
Yeah, basically. BM. London Lynx, they are going to be on the pistols now. A couple of Tech 9s, I was about to say AWP, Scout, AKs, and a fast A player is looking likely here. They're not even taking their time to set up smokes that they don't really have. They're just going for all out onto the site, and nice Molotov uses from CAZ to get themselves some early damage. However, the aggression with the pistols is going to be much better than the AWP in a close range scenario, and Aussie, he will at least clean up 2 players with his teammates rotating back in to help as well. Roma being one of those players, MCK as well, and Trouble will trade back 1, but it's still a 3v1, not in his favour at all, although a second just lines up for him. Not expecting to get that far shot on, takes down Roma, and now Dreamy and MCK, they can't afford to throw this one away.
They are going to be looking to give him...
Oh, there we go.
Right down to the wire. I was very concerned they were about to give him the 1v1s, but off the position that Trouble was in and the fact he didn't decide to adjust after and just sat tight, does enable to slow peek from the AWP, and that's the result we saw. So, still a 10-2 scoreline. Now, this is bleak, but hey, this is Train. We tend to see these very much, well, just landslide scorelines.
Yeah, that is, especially on that CT side as well.
Yeah.
So typical. And I mean, this matchup as well is kind of harsh in the favour of CAZ. London Lynx are at the bottom of the scoreboard right now in terms of the standings for this event. They came into this event not very prepared. More of a mixed team, you were telling me, kind of just entering as a bit of fun, not expecting to win anything. And they're not, really. That's why they're at the bottom. And CAZ a lot more kind of put together as an actual team. So you can tell that they are going to be more ready for this one. And the second top team in the standings as well. So quite scary for London Lynx, but regardless, can't hurt to try.
For Lynx, that's what I look at, right? I look at it as the try mechanism, because I go look at all this list of teams, or the list of teams, should I say, in the UK Masters, and they are the big team that sit out with me and go, okay, these are the real young guns pushing to improve and pushing to break in, because a lot of the other teams are all just names recycled through the old tiers of Counter-Strike. But you know what, we'll jump on that at the end of the show, because I think that's an interesting talking point. But for now, we still have a match of our hands. We still sit ever so daintily perched in the 14th round. It's going to be aggression from the 8OP, and hey, who needs a scope? That's so 2012.
It's just ridiculous. Dream just kicking it off with a kill there on that CT side. We're going to see London Lynx with no response to that early frag, and now back into a 4-on-5, so not great. The trouble set up with the AWP, and he's going to have the reaction time to take down Aussie as a bit of aggression comes out in the way of CAZ. I can barely blame him with such a dominant scoreline. Again, a peek from Jacob, a lot of damage, not resulting in a kill regardless, and Dream, he's rotated back onto A. He's going to be ready to shut down Isaac. Jacob, in the meantime, gets taken down, doesn't take down Trouble A, but it's still going to be into a 3-on-3 as Lynx, they push their last, or two of their last players out of this Ivy area and into the sweet embracing arms of NCK. One, and one more will follow.
There seems to always be this build-up and almost linking effect where once one is claimed, we always tend to see that second. And well, at least my concern is this is Trouble 9 HP. He has to really find these picks. Of course, the perk is that he's on the ADP, so HP won't really come into things too much. But CAZ, they have the man advantage. The bomb is going to be dropped at something that's obtainable, but MCK's elevated angle is going to make it a difficult task to achieve. And well, there you have it. Just gets to tap that crouch button ever so lightly, and just him going for that frag. It's something that Sneaky just has an uphill battle, literally speaking, to defend.
Yeah, quite literally. And Dream finishing things off as well for CAZ, as a 12-2 scoreline will be in play. This stomp just doesn't seem like as painful as the previous map for some reason. I'm not too sure why. Maybe it's just because CAZ are playing a lot safer and less kind of over-peaking and lack of trading. But Lynx, yeah, I mean, this is just such a dominant scoreline. I don't see them coming back from this one. They've got the pistol to worry about upcoming, and if they can get themselves 3 rounds and then the pistol, it's okay. But if they don't get 3 rounds, I just don't even see a potential win for them. But they got to hit that ladder, right? Yeah, they do. Trouble grabs himself an AWP, and that's important as well, considering he was on a Tech 9 at the beginning of the round.
Well, he's an incredibly talented player with the ADP here as well, so really a lot of work that he can do. However, unfortunately, what doesn't aid him as an individual is the rest of his team falling, and that initial pick to be claimed by that CT side does equalise things for them, and it opens things back up again for CAZ to really, contest.
Yeah. I love this angle, though, from MCK. The smoke running in his position so he can really peek wherever he wants. Snaky's going to walk into that. He spots him out just through the edge, takes him as well, and now 4v3 in play. Jump through the smoke there from AHB. Will get punished. And Isaac, he is deep in the site. They don't exactly know it just yet, but after 1 kill, he's going to give away his position completely. Trouble in the meantime gets himself 1. Isaac gets shut down as you can see Aussie returning fire back from the Ivy area, and Trouble's pincered now in the pop dog. They know exactly where he is. He doesn't have this upper flank coming out, but he does have the bomb to take towards B. That is one positive.
That's a positive, but it's one right at the bottom of the pile at this point, is coming down to 35 seconds or so. Utility is going to be an aiding factor, so he can pop himself off a flash as he jumps on down, but he's going to be faced with a quick and more frontal push. Has to land a flick there, one towards Aussie, and he does that to quick success, but look at Jacob, he's going for the knife, it's going to happen, he jumps on down, and there is the backstab. CAZ, they end it 13-2, and for me, there are a lot of topics, but the biggest one to drill into is that they have the basics, the foundations of how to play as a team, but they're just not hitting shots. I think that's been very apparent for me, right? Because the team play for them and their actual game plan on how to approach things feels like it has been at least thought out. Now, of course, there are things they can improve on, and there is, certainly work to be made. But to be honest, we look at that last series, which one-sided on the stomp. This feels better from a team play point of view, just not from the aim perspective.
No, that's just something coming down to practice and experience, though, isn't it? Got to get that aim flying there. Sometimes you may have games that just doesn't show up at all, even though you do have the ability somewhere. So Let's see if we can show up in the pistol round where they really need it, because CAZ are fast pushing this site. We have the first kill coming out from Snaky, and Roma double return, so that's going to be quite bad. Although Isaac comes back in from the flank to secure himself one, and now things could start to tumble in the favour of Lynx. And as I say there, Isaac, he's already out of the equation, so a 3-2 on play, and another one followed up there from Jacob as AHB is found. So it's all on trouble. He is over on the electric box, but they know exactly where he is, and while he may be able to get one, he's not even going to get that. MCK clears it up. CAZ 14 rounds, and may I even say GG at this point.
I've got to feel bad for Trouble though. Like the amount of times we've been seeing him left in these 1v3s and 1v4s. Now I'm not implying that, I'm not implying anything baity or anything like that, but you got to feel bad for him every time. He's always seems to be left, and in the blink of an eye, his teammates just die, and he's always left, just trying to play a spot. But no matter how good of a position he's in, he's always just going to be traded.
Unfortunate indeed, but you know, not much you can do sometimes. He is 17 and something right now. He's doing quite well. 17 and 14, so definitely a good score from Trouble, carrying the team by some extent. Obviously, it's not really a carry if you're losing, but he's doing quite well. And Snaky's actually going to make something work there, although the lack of Ivy control here from the CT side means Aussie's already wrapped around into the CT spawn. He's going to be able to catch up Snaky, follow up as well. That's AHB to fall. Another bomb making its way towards this A site. It's like they swapped positions here. The retake's already on. Major is over towards that electric box, and these teams are already rushing him down. Aussie doesn't give a damn. He's pushing in for more. 3 kills, going out with a pistol. The Glock is in his hands, and that's 4 as well. Going in for the ace, but Isaac will be on the other side of the map, coming in through the Ivy.
Gosh, just moving on through, and well, you talk about Isaac, there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders, but it's going to be crushing, but not in the way you originally expect, because it's not just going to be a simple one-tap where he pushes on out. No, it's going to be one that is drawn out. The nails slowly but surely going to be placed on through, and he does get a headshot at least, so certainly some blood to be stopped, and he's getting exit frags, but I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's 15-2. It's still the same end result. He's even got a fall.
Yeah,
I don't think there's much that can be done.
Yeah. That's it. I agree. So let's see how they can close this map out, I imagine. So I can only imagine that'll be quite quickly, to be honest. And the Lynx going to be forcing up into this. They've got the pistols, they've got a scout in their hands on Snaky as per usual, and the rest of CAZ, they are going to be on this dual Berettas buy. Very typical T-side buy on train.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, very normal. And he's going to be entry fragging as well. Dream, I love this. What is he doing? Just running out to the site. The first kill going to be found. The dual Berettas work at a range because these guns are great. And just a complete wipe down here. London Lynx are just left on Major trying to rotate back in. And it will just all be over.
Yeah, I think the one thing for me is that the one job that Lynx had in that round was to not let the dual Berettas get a kill.
Yeah. And they don't even do that. So they know exactly where he is, though. He hasn't even exposed himself, and they're just like, yeah, he's rotating through here. That's the only place he can be. And Roma, he's going to finish it off as well. 16-2 going to be found from CAZ, so that will be the first map secured. And obviously one more to follow up as well to see at least if they have any kind of retribution of London and Lynx doing that are able to pull it back into the map, into the second map. But I have to say one thing. You have to give it to London Lynx, okay? And CAZ, obviously. So one positive is the fact that at least they're being nice. Because